we discussed the difference between time for money and leveraging time for money. We also discussed what poor people purchase on payday, what the wealthy bought, and also what the middle class bought. Today, I want to discuss the difference between time for money and results for money. There are basically two systems in which we operate in order to generate cash flow. One is a time for money system, and most people, that's the system that they know about. They go to work and they earn a paycheck. Another system is called results for money. In the time for money system, basically you get paid based upon the amount of time that you spend on the job. At the end of the week, you will either receive a salary or an hourly wage multiplied by the amount of hours that you were present on the job. But the single most important factor which determines your pay is how much time you spend on the job. In a results for money system, you get paid based solely on the results that you produce. It matters not how much time you spend on the job. In a time for money system, you're paid based solely upon the amount of time that you spend on a job. Even if you're on a salary, you're still, chances are, on a time for money system. Basically, the way this works, you're required to show up a certain amount of hours, usually 40 hours per week, maybe more. You could be a supervisor or manager, and you're required to be 50, 60 hours, but you're being paid based upon showing up for work. As long as you're there, as long as you're present, you will get a check at the end of the week. It doesn't really matter the results that you're producing. In a results for money system, you're being paid solely based upon the results that you produce. A good example of a result for money system would be a salesperson who's on a commission-only pay scale. It doesn't matter if that salesperson spends 40 hours in front of a client. If he doesn't make the sale, he doesn't earn a paycheck. Now, whether he decides to invest time and money to improve his closing ratio is totally his choice. The company doesn't care. But if he does exercise some discipline and improve his skill sets, he could now spend 10 minutes in front of a prospect and walk away with a $5,000 commission check, because all the company cares about is the results that he's producing. As you'll see later in this slide, results for money always produce and always outperform a time for money system. However, if you enter a results for money system with a time for money mindset, chances are you will fail. Time for money mindset does not work in a results for money system. And most people are operating in a time for money mindset. Results for money is a system where a lot of big money can be made and can be made very quickly, but most people tend to shy away from a results for money system because, unlike time for money, results for money requires a lot of commitment and a lot of discipline. So once you've made a decision to commit to a results for money system, also make the decision and the commitment that you will be disciplined and you'll be committed to learning whatever it takes and doing the due diligence so you can be successful in this system. The discipline that is required in a result for money system is much different than the discipline in a time for money system. In the results for money system, there's no one to check on you, no one to hold you accountable, no one to see if you made the phone calls when you said you were going to make the phone calls, no one to see if you follow up with the prospect. You have to have the discipline to do what you know you're supposed to be doing at all times. If you're operating in a time for money system, it is possible to show up on the job unprepared. It is possible when you get there, as long as the boss isn't looking, you could scroll through your Facebook page, you could update your Twitter, you could check YouTube, you could be on MySpace, you could check the balance of your checkbook online. You could do all sorts of nonsense and not be actively focused on the job. And you could, at the end of the week, give 20% of your effort, but as long as you were there in the allotted time that you're supposed to be there, chances are you're going to get 100% of your check. That does not work in a results for money system. So you'll always find people coming into a results for money system with a time for money mindset, a time for money attitude, and then they complain. I've been here 4 months and I haven't made any money as yet. This doesn't work. No. It does work. It works if you work it. Because whenever I hear this argument, the first thing I always ask is, what are the results that you've produced? How much of your organization products have you sold? And the answer is always none. How many people did you bring into the business? 0. We're in a results for money business. It has been reported that the average American watches over 29 hours of television per week. That's roughly about 4 hours per day. Now, let's assume in this example, our average American is earning $600 per week, And his name is Bob. If Bob could discipline himself and dedicate 1 hour per day, just 1 hour per day, to improving his financial situation, at the end of the year, those daily 1 hour period would have totaled over 9 40-hour work week. Now, Bob was earning $600 per week, so 9 of his checks would be equivalent to $5,400 per year, or $450 per month. $450 per month is enough to keep the utilities on. It could keep the car from being repossessed. An extra $450 per month sometimes can mean the difference between staying in your home and having that home foreclosed upon. So the advantage of just taking 1 hour, working on yourself, working on the system, can make all the difference in the world. Being a speaker, I'm in a results for money business. Now, if I show up and I'm unprepared, I forgot my point while I'm in the middle of the stage I'm performing, I fail to connect with my audience, and I don't deliver the results that the organization is looking for, chances are, one, I will not get paid because it's in my contract, 100% money back guarantee, total satisfaction. But not only will I not get paid, that's not the extent of the damage. Now, the organization definitely will not bring me back. And the 2,000 people that's in the audience, they will tell everyone that they know that Kirk Nugent is unprofessional. He doesn't know how to connect with the audience. He's not prepared. He doesn't know his material. He's not filled with any knowledge. So that one time when I'm unprepared, just that one time, it will have far-reaching negative consequences and could possibly sideline my entire career. So I have to deliver great results every time. That's the results for money business. The reason why results for money requires so much discipline and so much commitment is because it is the equivalent of owning your own business. If you're in a results for money system, you own your own business. You might be a part of another business, but it's ran like it's your personal business. In a results for money business, it doesn't matter if you just invested $5 million to purchase your own McDonald's franchise, or you spent $500 and you became a distributor for Mary Kay. It's still your own individual business. If you're running a McDonald's, you're going to have to take care of the inventory, you're going to have to hire personnel, you're going to have advertise, you're going to need a marketing plan, and great customer service. If you're a distributor for Mary Kay, you're going to need the exact same thing. You're going to need inventory, whether it's facial scrubs and makeup. You're going to have to take care of your marketing plan. You're going to have to advertise. Now, McDonald's has $1 billion budget to advertise. You being a distributor, your advertising might be word of mouth. Start telling everybody, listen, I'm doing this Mary Kay business. I'm a distributor. If you need any facials, if you need any scrub, come and see me. You have to be excited and enthused about your business. And you have to talk about your business 24/7 because you're in a results for money business, and your goal is to achieve results as quickly and as efficiently as possible. In our first video, Creating Wealth 101, I spoke extensively about how time for money, or trading your time for money rather, doesn't work. And one of the reasons why I want to emphasize why it's important for you to commit to your success is because unconsciously, if you've been working in a time for money system, you've been unconsciously committing to your failure. Let me explain why. Let's assume for the past 5 years you've been working in a time for money system. So you've been working for 40 hours per week for 50 weeks per year. That's a total of 2,000 hours per year. Now multiply that by 5 years and you have 10,000 hours that you've invested over the past 5 years in a system that absolutely will not bring financial independence. It will not bring financial freedom. It will not bring any social security. So what I'm saying to you is, now that you've found a new system, you understand how results for money work, commit to the system instead of just dibbling and dabbling in it and after 3 months saying, oh, this doesn't work. Commit, put some effort into it, and I guarantee you'll see the results that will change your life financially forever. Alvin Toffler, in his book Future Shock, says, the illiterate of the future will not be the person who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now, what have we been taught all our lives? We've been taught to go to school, get a good education so that we could get a good job. But Alvin Toffler is telling us we have to unlearn that information and learn some new information. We have to unlearn this time for money system that we've been operating in and learn the results for money, because the results for money is really where our independence and our freedom lies. Okay, I'm going to give you one piece of advice. One piece of advice. And if you follow this one piece of advice, if you act upon it, I will guarantee your success in the results for money system. So here's a piece of advice that I'd like to share with you. And before I do, let me just give you my background. Once I found this information out about leveraging time for money and results for money, I knew also I was reading books about multiple streams of income. So I knew I wanted to create another stream of income, and I also knew that I wanted to create a passive stream of income. I also knew, third thing that I knew, I didn't have the money to start a McDonald's or a franchise, but just from reading Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad and some of Donald Trump's books, I realized that network marketing, if you find the right company, could be the vehicle that could take you there, could create a really nice passive residual income. So the first thing I did, I got involved in the first network marketing company that I found, and I failed. Found another one, and again, I wouldn't say I failed because I learned something from each experience, but I didn't create the results that I was looking for. So the first company that I was in, there were people in that company making millions of dollars, yet I was struggling. And when I left, I wondered, how could they be making millions and I'm struggling? I'm Kirk Nugent, baby, I'm brilliant. I don't struggle. But there was something that they knew that I didn't know. So after failing, so to speak, at the second company, I figured out the stuff or the information that they knew. And here it is. To find a company that you're going to be tremendously successful with, make sure that you would get involved even if there were no money involved. Let me explain that. When I first started speaking, I was speaking for free. No one had to pay me to speak. I loved speaking so much that I showed up and I would speak for free. Eventually they started paying me. The same thing. The last company I was involved with was Success University, and this was the first time I found success in a network marketing company. Success University, the product that they were marketing was self-development. Now look around. All these books are on self-development, so naturally I'm sold on self-development because that's what changed my life. So it was easy for me to go out and talk to everyone passionately. Self-development, you got to get involved in self-development. Self-development can change your life. So I very quickly built a team and we started making money. Success University changed their marketing strategy and they merged with another company. Well, actually they didn't merge. They sold the company and became a travel company. Now I have no passion about saving someone $50 on an airline ticket. So immediately I knew that if I'm not passionate about the company, I'm going to struggle. So immediately I got out, and all the people that I brought, they got out because they were passionate about self-development. That was 3, maybe 4 years ago. So for the past 4 years, I've been looking for another stream of income. What is it that I can do? And people brought me all sorts of opportunities. I looked at them, but I needed to have this prerequisite where if there were no money involved, I would still do it. So when I found send out cards, it was a no-brainer. I would send cards if there were no money involved. As a matter of fact, all of us watching been sending cards. We send Mother's Day cards, Christmas card, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. We send cards. So this was a no-brainer for me. What I'm saying to you is send out cards is what I'm doing, but it might not be the thing for you. You might not have a passion for cards, but you might have a passion for makeup. So Mary Kay might be your thing. And if you have a passion for that, then look into that. Or you might have a passion for nutritional stuff, losing weight. As a matter of fact, some guy came to me with that. Oh, Kirk, take a look at this product. You could lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. That's what our clients are doing. Now, I've been trying to gain 10 pounds for 15 years. So I have no interest in that product. Or they will bring me another product. How about this other nutritional stuff? But I've been juicing. I've been doing a lot of organic juicing, carrots, kale, celery. So I believe in my juicer and my juicing. So you're not going to sell me on a nutritional product in a can. But someone else out there watching, you might have a passion for that. So the secret or the tip that I'm saying, find something that you're passionate about that you would do if there were no money involved, and get involved. Use that vehicle, a network marketing company, something that you're passionate about. Use that vehicle to drive your success to the place that you want to be. Tomorrow or later in the week, I'm going to give you another tip, because this tip that I just gave you about finding something that you're passionate that you would do if there were no money involved, that will make you successful. I'm going to give you, by the end of this week, I'm going to give you another tip that will make you super successful. So stay tuned and we'll talk more.